In forest yoga, sometimes we jump straight into doing hip opening almost really early at the start of the practice. These are some of the warm-ups that I've been working with for the last year to warm my hips up, free them up, and get them moving in a different way before I then start building into my practice. These would be great to add in as part of any movement practice that you have, or as a way to develop a practice to then do some of the other videos perhaps afterwards, so you can get a little bit of a cross-training feel going on with what you're doing. Enjoy. Navigating the hips can present a little bit of a challenge in a yoga practice, especially at the start of a practice where there may be a lot of seated poses. There's not a huge amount of opportunity to warm up the joints in a really big way. So a lot of my practice that I've been doing lately, I've been doing more dynamic movements at the start of the practice to get the joints lubricated, to get the pelvis shifting and moving, and especially to get the lower back moving. So as we move through today, there'll be things that are almost yoga based in essence, but will be encouraging you to move your musculature and engage the muscles to then change how the poses perhaps feel a little bit later on. Starting with your feet, so that the feet are wider than a standard yoga mat, feet flexing and heels on the ground. Use your fingertips behind you to lift your chest up. Inhale, stretch ribs up. Exhale, send your legs to the right. Now tidy up the angle so you've got your left knee going directly in front of you, the other leg bent 90 degrees so it's going out to the right. Inhale, bring the knees up through center. Exhale, send your legs to the left. Inhale, bring knees through center. Exhale, send the legs to the right. Inhale through center, chest is lifting. Exhale, send the legs left. Inhale through center. Now if you are able to be there on your sit bones without rounding in the back, go for hands up. Exhale, send your legs to the right. Push down through your leg bones so you're actively using the inner thigh of your left leg and the outer thigh of your right leg. Inhale, knees back through center. Exhale, send the legs to the left. Push down through the inside of the right leg, the outside of your left leg. Inhale, knees through center. Exhale, send your legs to the right. Chest is lifting. Turn the chest a little bit more. Inhale, back through center. I've just got my hands here so that they look busy. Exhale, send your legs left, turn your chest left. Inhale, bring the chest through center. Exhale, send the legs to the right. Now in this position, turn to the right, squeeze your shoulder blades back and go for more of like a wide-handed pose. And fold a little bit over your right leg while pushing down to your right foot. So it's quite early to go into a deep stretch, just feel for muscular engagement to start with. Inhale, up through center, roll the knees through the middle. Exhale, send your legs left. Inhale to lift the chest up, taking the arms up. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades back, fold over that left leg and push down through your left thigh. So your aim is to feel that you feel your butt muscles kicking in and maybe some of your other leg muscles kicking in. The right leg isn't doing too much at this point. Inhale, lift up, bring the torso through center. From here, if possible, stack your left shin on top of your right shin for shoelace. Now if this configuration feels quite challenging, best bet is to put a block in front of the right knee and then set the left foot onto that. This will give you a really good amount of space. If you're able to keep the foot on your shin bone, well, on your knee, then do that. Take the right hand outside your right hip, about a foot and a half. Inhale, bring the left arm up and lengthen the left rib so you're moving your armpit towards your left foot. Exhale, fold over that leg and see where you're getting to. Maybe setting the elbow down onto the floor, maybe both elbows go down. If you're not getting a huge amount of purchase there, don't slide your butt, but use your hands to press your chest in that direction. Inhale to anchor your left sit bone down. Exhale, relax your neck. Inhale to lengthen your low front ribs towards your left foot. Exhale, fold down over the legs and relax your neck. So feeling for more of this like deeply held pose versus the more dynamic movement we're doing to warm up. If this still feels too early, add in some other things, so maybe some more of those hip movements side to side. Inhale, come on up from there. Legs stay as they are. Take the left hand outside the left hip, so we're getting really into the sides, into your QLs, down into your lower back, your lats somewhat. Left hand is down, inhale, reach with that right arm. Exhale, hook the arm to the outside of your left thigh, maybe the elbow down, maybe both elbows are down, or folding the breastbone towards your left knee. You can also use your hands from behind to press forwards, and at this point, depth isn't massively important. Inhale, lift your low front ribs up so you get a bit of an unfurling towards your left knee. Exhale, relax your neck. Breathe in a way that balloons down into your low belly. Exhale, pull belly muscles in and soften a little bit more over your legs. Inhale, come up from there. Change the cross in your legs, so now you have the right shin on top for shoelace. Perhaps you've got that foot on the block, and be prepared to make alternate arrangements from one side to the next. Left hand comes outside that left hip. Inhale, lift up through that right arm and stretch out through the right ribs. Exhale, reach over that right foot, bringing the elbow down to the ground, maybe both elbows down to the ground. Inhale, lean your ribs to the right. Exhale, anchor your right sit bone down and relax your neck. Remember, you can use the other hand positions to start navigating into this. If stillness isn't working, see if a little bit of movement works here, so starting to almost undulate the right ribs to the right, perhaps coaxing a little bit more length out of there. Inhale, come on up. Legs stay as they are, right hand outside the right hip. Inhale, reach out through that left arm, so you're almost like cutting out and wrapping through that shoulder. Exhale, bring the left arm down to the outside of your right thigh. Maybe the elbows go down, maybe pressing, maybe it's more of a breastbone towards knee deal. Inhale, stretch your chest towards your right knee and left foot. Exhale, arc your ribs left. If you're able to hook your arms to the outside, get that, and pull the left elbow against your right thigh to get a little bit more of that arc into left ribs. The deeper you get the breath, the more you'll start to open up through the spaces in the ribs and stretch some of the tissues that adhere to the intercostals. Inhale, come up. Now I'm a big fan, before I get down and do loads of floor work, to really warm up the hip joints, but then also to get the leg muscles really fired up. So for this next part, stand up. You're going to be coming up into horse. So for horse, take the feet about 2-3 feet apart. Turn your feet out, anything from 25 to 45 degrees, and then feel for thighs coming more parallel to the ground. Take your hands and brace them near to your knees and lengthen your chest up. In this position, press down through your heels, the ball of the foot, and lift your toes up. And then feel for shoulders getting more above your hips. Actively widen the knees and reach your thigh bones away from one another. Inhale, stretch ribs up. Exhale, push down to your feet and switch on your leg muscles. Almost feel for your heels sliding forwards as your pinky toes slide backwards. And from this place, set the hands about midway down your thighs. Bring the chest almost parallel to the ground. Inhale, scoop chest forwards. Exhale, send your left shoulder down, your right shoulder up as you begin to rotate through the ribs. Inhale, bring the chest through center. Exhale, right shoulder down, left shoulder up. Knees are actively widening. Inhale, chest through center. Exhale, left shoulder down, right shoulder up. Actively widen the knees. Inhale, chest through center. Exhale, right shoulder down, left shoulder up. Actively widen those knees. Inhale, chest through center. Now this time, exhale, twist the left shoulder down, but lean towards your right thigh. Use this to open up into the left side, low back. Inhale, stretch left ribs away from pelvis. Exhale through the mouth till empty. Hold your breath, don't inhale. Pull belly in and stretch left ribs away from hips. Inhale, shoulders through center. Exhale, right shoulder down, left shoulder up. Inhale to lean towards your left leg, straightening the right arm. Exhale through the mouth till empty. Hold your breath, don't inhale. Stretch right ribs away from pelvis, belly pulls in a ton. Inhale through center. Bring your shoulders over your hips, straighten the legs, and then heel toe the feet towards each other. Bring yourself down onto all fours. If you have a block for the next part, great. If you don't sweat it, you can do this without. If you've got the block, put it between your left heel and your left sit bone. Actively spread the hands. If your wrists are sensitive, then turn the fingers out so this is less arduous. It does not need to be about your wrists. This exercise is to try and get you engaging your muscles without shearing into the hips. So I see a lot of times when people are aiming to abduct, that they especially start to open the hips up to the side, so the movement is coming from their lower back. And especially if you have more mobility or greater access to your flexibility, the chances are you might be shearing away into these parts rather than engaging the muscles. So from an all fours position, block is at your left heel, lift the left thigh bone almost parallel to the ground, check over your shoulder and get the shin so it's going straight up and down, and squeeze the heel towards your butt. Lift the low spine. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring your left knee down alongside your right knee. Inhale, open the knee out to the side without lifting the hip. Exhale, rotate the leg back through center and pause. Deep breath here. Exhale, bring the knee down alongside your left. Inhale, open the knee out to the side. Exhale, rotate the leg back through center. Change legs. So up that towards doing about 5 of those per round. So we just did 2. So changing onto that right hand side, lift the right leg up, have a little check. You're going to have one side that may move a wee bit differently to the other, or feel like it does for sure. Inhale deeply. Lift up through your lower spine, even the weight in the hands. Exhale, bring the right knee down alongside the left. Inhale, open the knee out to the side without lifting the hip up. Exhale, rotate that leg back through center. Deep breath. Exhale, bring the right knee down alongside the left. Inhale, open the leg out to the side. Exhale, rotate back up through center, so foot points up. Inhale to relax that down. Alright, take the block out of there. Sit up, watch where you're heading next. You will be coming down onto your back. If you have wooden floors, then you're going to be able to slide around a little bit. If you're on carpet, you can get these little slidey things, or if you don't mind mild carpet burning your feet, go for it on carpet so you can get a feel for these movements. I'm just watching it for sharp things, so I'm just going to angle my mat a little bit. So the positions you're going to be working with here in Baddha Konasana, there's the option to do this with your pelvis elevated on a block. I'd recommend doing that if you've done these before, or you feel like you've got really good control of whether your low ribs are kind of shearing open or whether you can keep the upper abdominal engagement. Watch the first one. So I've got my pelvis really close to the front of the mat. In this position, as the legs move away, there's a tendency towards the low ribs drawing up. Actively feeling for the low ribs pulling downwards. You've got this strong abdominal engagement. Part 1 is inhale, legs go forwards through Baddha Konasana, opening the feet, exhaling to bring the legs back and together. So it's inhale forwards, exhale wide, bring it back. Then we will alternate. If you want to work harder through the core, arms can come up overhead, which will increase the amount of torque that there is. If you want to work harder than that, you can elevate the pelvis, putting your hips onto the block, giving you a little bit more back bend and more facility to engage into your abdomen. So come on down, set yourself up so you're super near to the front of your mat. Start with your feet in Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together and knees wide. If you're doing arms overhead, go for that. If you're new to this, take the hands onto your low ribs and draw the low ribs down. Inhale, feet stay together, send them towards the front of your mat, knees stay wide. Exhale, open the feet wide and drag the knees wide and back through center so your feet come back into Baddha Konasana. Inhale, legs forwards. Exhale, open the feet, drag the legs back towards you, feet touch. Inhale, legs go forwards. Exhale, feet wide, bring the feet back through center. Inhale forwards, low ribs stay meshed together. Exhale, pull the legs back in. Inhale, legs forwards, actively widen the knees. Exhale, legs go wide and back. Alright, now reversing this. Inhale, open the feet wide here, knees wide, make a big circle with your feet. Exhale, they touch, drag them up through the midline. Inhale, feet wide, make that big circle, feet touch. Exhale, drag the feet up. Inhale, feet wide, knees wide. Drag those feet around, feet touch. Exhale, drag the feet back up through midline. Inhale, knees wide. Last one. Feet touch. Exhale, bring the feet up. Use your hands to bring the knees together. Moving into some abdominal work. Clasp your hands behind your head. Lift the head and shoulders up, and then bring the knees up so your knees are directly above your hips. Shins parallel to the floor and feet flexing. Widen the knees and go for shins parallel to the floor for frog lifting through. Press down to your back ribs, press down to your pelvis so you feel abdominal muscles switching on. This movement isn't about you flexing into your hips, it is about you curling up through your tailbone to effectively work your lower abdominals. Inhale, press pelvis down. Exhale, curl, tailbone up, curl pubic bone to low ribs, belly down. Inhale, relax the curl and tailbone. Exhale, curl, tailbone up, pubic bone towards low ribs, shoulder blades up, belly down. Inhale, uncurl tailbone, press pelvis down. Exhale, curl, tailbone up, curl pubic bone up, shoulder blades up, belly down. Inhale, uncurl tailbone, shoulders are lifted. Exhale, curl, tailbone up, curl pubic bone up, lift head and shoulders up, pull belly down. Inhale, uncurl tailbone, press pelvis into the mat. Exhale, curl, tailbone up, lift head and shoulders up, pull abdomen down. Inhale, lay your head down. Use your hands to bring your legs together and then set the feet down. Roll onto your left hand side and then come up from the ground. Use your left hand on the side of your head and then lift your head up. And if you folded your mat, unfold it and sort of tidy everything back up a little bit. You're going to be coming back down onto your mat. Now this pose is called back release, but working in a more active way, your aim in this position once you're on the ground is to engage into your hips to begin to move the foot in towards you, using your muscles rather than moving your head towards your foot or all the legs towards you. It's quite frustrating, but it gives you a very good way of seeing whether you are working with hip flexion, where might be tight, where needs some strengthening up, and hopefully will influence how you then practice and maybe how you style your practices from there on out. So come down onto your back. Cross the left foot over your right thigh and then bring the right thigh so it is directly above your pelvis. So your aim here is right leg stays exactly where it is, head and shoulders stay down, and your aim is to detach the left foot from the right leg and move it towards your face. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze your left leg bones towards your chest and start moving the foot so it's almost above your throat, maybe above your face. Inhale, put that leg back. Now, it may not have moved much / at all. Exhale, squeeze the leg in towards you. Inhale, relax that. Alright. Hold on to your foot. Move the foot so it's in line with the midline of your body. Inhale, send the foot up towards the ceiling, and then so it is then above your chest. Resist it going down to your feet. Exhale, send your right leg away and draw the foot down. So you're moving towards the sole of the foot coming down to your breastbone rather than your pelvis. More flexibly, you might be able to snuggle this around into the elbows and bring that around so it's less wrist and grip based. Inhale in a way that touches down into hips and lower back. Exhale, draw shoulders and shoulder blades down. The deeper you can get your breath here, the more you're going to feel this sensing into your hips and your lower back. Now changing sides. Cross your right foot over your left thigh. Foot is flexing on that right side. Get the left knee stacked directly above your pelvis. Deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze that right foot towards your head, so right leg is coming up towards you. You flex into your hip using all available resources. Inhale, put that back. Exhale, squeeze the leg up towards your head, exploring where it is going to. Inhale, relax that. Take a hold of the foot, bring the foot so it is directly above your breastbone, maybe moving up closer to your throat, and then extend the left leg. Inhale, scoop your chest towards the back of the mat. Exhale, draw the foot straight down to your chest rather than to your pelvis. As soon as it goes to your pelvis, you're actually just moving your knee joint. The thigh itself isn't changing what's happening too much. Bring it up. Maybe you can wrap around via the elbows so it's less of an arduous grip for you. Inhale, scoop your chest towards the back of the mat. Exhale, reach your left leg away from you, so you're lengthening out through that left side of the pelvis. Switch your deep breathing on. Alright, release that leg. Set your feet down and then roll to your left. Use your arms to come up from the ground. Left hand brings your head up. So when I'm working into my hips, sometimes I feel like my flexibility can outweigh my ability to sense where I am, so my proprioception ends up somewhat behind. This next drill, using the block or any other flat surface, preferably something non-breakable, can be incredibly helpful for building your proprioceptive abilities. It is also incredibly frustrating. So if you want some frustration training, here's your frustration training. Come on to all fours. From this all fours position, you're going to bend your left leg up, make a little shelf with your foot, put the block onto your foot. You might have noticed you're already having a great time. Now you are going to be here for about 8 breath cycles. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily to do all of it within 8 breath cycles. You might do this 100 times in that time. Your aim is to find your way up to down dog with the leg up and back down again, roughly in that time frame. If you're doing this along with me, lift the left foot up so your knee is hovering from the mat holding the block. Tuck the right toes and begin to lift your leg up. Your aim is to work towards straightening the leg, sensing where the block is and if it is level, but without dropping the block. If you've dropped it a couple of times, alright, dial down the frustration, amp your breathing up and get steady. Way to go, Finlay, showing you how to do this. So it's a little bit of a frustrating venture. I suppose if you want to show off to your friends, you could always glue the block to your foot, but then where is the fun in that? Just being aware of how you are moving the block on the way up and seeing if you can maintain that as you come back down. Alright, moving on to the left hand side. So change feet, move the block on over to the other side. Now this might be this side, the side of hope, the side of destiny, one that will work, we shall see. Lift between your shoulder blades, hands are active, tuck toes under, and begin to lift that block up. So endeavouring to move from tabletop with the leg up, into down dog with the leg up, and working the legs straighter. Sense all the tiny little movements that there are. And if the block falls, you have to use the ancient mystical mantra of whoops, and then get right back in there. Doing well today. Alright, come on down. Probably could have shown you that one better. Next pose registers into the hips in a very different way for a lunge. I've been absolutely adoring these lunges lately. I'm going to turn around just so you can get better access, starting on the left side before we move on to the right side. From all fours, step your left foot outside your left hand, and then turn the left foot out 90 degrees. The right hand has to go directly underneath your right shoulder. Tuck the right toes and then flip onto the pinky edge of your right foot without allowing the ankle to sickle. So if it's the ankle is down, flex the foot so you're more on the foot and push down into your left foot. Inhale to reach the left arm up. Exhale, spin the right side of your pelvis towards your left calf, and this should give you a strong sensation through the outer buttock muscles on that left side. Smooth out your breathing. If this feels funky in the knee, move the foot further to the left so there's less pressure on that knee joint. If you don't need to do that, then don't do that. Now amp up your breath here. Actively reach down with that right arm so you're less collapsed through that shoulder. Now stage 2, move the right hand a little further forwards and then lounge your right hip down towards the floor. Allow your right shoulder to slide up so you get this arc on the right side of your ribs. And providing your left foot is staying where it is, flex that foot and roll onto the pinky edge of the foot and allow the knees to begin to feel like they're rolling open. Now you might find that you need to make little adjustments for your hips as per comfort level. As your flexibility develops, that left leg will begin to open up towards your right thigh And you can even use your hand to coax that hip open a little bit as you lean the chest away. Stage 3. Now you can get off this train anytime you need to. Stage 3, set the elbows so they're either side of that left foot. This might feel quite reminiscent of earlier. And then relax your chest down over that leg. Breathe in a way that stretches into low belly, so left side low back gets a little bit of expansion. Inhale, come on up. Come back into that all fours position, bring that leg back. Whew. This is quite intense for the outside of that leg. You don't need to turn around, but just visually so you get a better view of this. I've turned around. Step the right foot outside the right hand. Turn the right foot to the right for 90 degrees. Then move the left hand so it's more in line with the midline of the mat. Tuck the left toes, and then flip onto the pinky edge of that foot. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And then begin to roll your left hip towards your right while pushing down into that right foot. So you get this really strong sensation coming through the hips and the buttock muscles. Make your breathing incredibly expansive. If possible, front of the left hip spins towards your right knee. Stage 2. Set that left hand a little further forwards. Lounge the left hip down so you get this arcing from the shoulder being the high point and this curve coming all the way down into the leg. Right foot flexes and allowing the knee to roll open. You may need to adjust the hips as necessary as the thighs move towards each other. If this foot is sliding, use your hand as a blocker to stop the foot from sliding. Maybe using your hand to help coax that thigh open. Inhale, lean away from your legs. Exhale, relax your neck, pull your belly muscles in. And stage 3. Bring the arms either side of that right foot and fold over that leg. So you might need to use your hand to stop the foot from sliding anywhere. Maybe you're a little bit more upright, maybe the elbows are on blocks. Inhale, scoop your chest towards the right side of your mat. Exhale, draw the shoulders down and move your breastbone down without allowing the left side of your pelvis to lift. Breathe in a way that almost pushes the breath into right side low belly, so right hip starts to get a little bit of feedback. Inhale, come up from there. Now we're returning to, I call this hip mobility twist. So you get your feet flexing, feet are wider than your yoga mat, hands are either behind you or in front of you. And using this to see where we've gone from the start to now. Inhale the chest, exhale send your legs to the right, press down to your leg bones, chest lifts, chest twists to the right. Inhale knees through center, exhale send the legs left, turn your chest left, push down to your leg bones. Inhale, chest through center. Exhale, send the legs to the right. Press down. Inhale, legs come back through center. Exhale, legs go left. Inhale through center. So it is my hope that that feels a little easier in your hips. Bring the feet together into Baddha Konasana. Lift your chest up. So I would love if you started adding this into the start of your practice, maybe using this to then go on to do maybe your sun salutations and a little bit more movement and seeing how some of these activations can work when you then add sun salutations on after that or do one of the other videos from the channel. All right, enjoy. Hands together, deep breath in. Namaste.